And it's spring that we look at. Spring is a very significant season of the year. We have 4 seasons in 1 year. And if I can be justifiable to say this, seems like spring is the beginning of new stuff. Spring is the beginning of growth. Spring is the beginning of life. Spring also is the beginning of resurrecting life. Because if you notice, we come through a bitter, hard, brutal winter. Coldness, where everything looked like it was dead. No leaves on the trees. The grass has turned brown. The birds don't have a certain chickle. And since I said birds, let me tell you what happened to me in my meditation. I sit on my porch and I was trapped in the house for at least a week and a half one time because the pollen was so rich out there, I couldn't take it. I could not leave my residence until after it rained because the pollen does me such a job. But one day I was sitting on my porch in this season, a couple of weeks ago, and the birds was just chickling away. And my memory bank in my brain recapitulated the birds doing the same kind of chickling in the wintertime and in the fall time. But during the springtime, it was a different kind of chickle going on in their voice. It was a chickling and a whistling like life. It was a chickling and a whistling like I'm happy. It's a chickling and a whistling like, oh, we got it going on now. It's spring. Even the animals appreciate this particular time of the year. The grass began to turn from brown to green. The trees began to bust out its buds and begin to give limbs, and flowers begin to grow. Every being, beast being, bird being, human being, animal being, seems like they just want to reproduce during the spring. Birds making nests. Bees as busy as they can be. Everything seemed to blossom and take place for a renaissance, for something new, for life to bust open in spring. And if that can happen natural, people of God, if that can happen natural, Solomon's temple, if that can happen natural, Radio Land, why not let it happen natural in our spirits? We ought to be coming to a time of this resurrection day that I want some new life to come out of me. Old things is passed away because 2022 is dead. And it ain't coming back for nobody. 2023 is here. And I want something to spring out of me this year that didn't spring out of me last year. I want a new joy this year that I didn't have last year. I want a deeper prayer life this year that I didn't have last year. I want to see some new birth. Anybody want to see some new birth? Put your hand together, give God some praise, and say, I'm glad that this stuff was centered around spring.